Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to build and host a dev tunnel, Microsoft Dev tunnel. What we are going to do is that we have a fast API that we use with our Rack app that does a search through some index document that we uploaded and respond to people's answers using an application, a use case ministry app that we have. So in this video, we are going to host a dev tunnel and create custom connector so we can use that with Copilot Studio, Microsoft Teams, and so on. Yes. So you ask your question, how do I get an API key from the dev tunnel and register my fast API in Microsoft Entra ID? So we will not for now do this one, register it in Microsoft Entra ID, but we will use the dev tunnel. The dev tunnel, like I mentioned, it makes the local host switchable from the internet, and then the fast API authentication, the API key protect the API from with your own API key, or if you want to use a Microsoft Entra token, that's fine. You start the fast API. We already did that in the previous video. And what we are going to do, we are going to log into the dev tunnel. We have a documentation, a Microsoft documentation. If you want to know more about the dev tunnel, it's right here. It has a lot of documentation. We are going to implement the first one. We log in with our Microsoft account. So let's go to VS Code and I will log in. So I logged in with my Microsoft account. So the next step would be to create a public one. Just to notice that after this video, I will delete it because once it's public, if somebody has access to it, to the link, the person can have access to all your data. That is very bad. So this is what it has given us, ready to accept connection for this tunnel. So this is what we have right now. So let's go back to, oh, this is the tunnel, my fault, this is the tunnel here. We copy this and then we go back to Chrome. It says you will receive an endpoint like this. It means that Power Platform can reach the URL without authenticating to the tunnel first. Anyone that discovered URL can also reach it. So for now, let's do it and then we will modify it after. So we are on Power Apps. Let's create new connector. We'll say from blank and we will call it Fast API Ministry. So is this one, we put that host here. Security for now, we put no authentication. And then action, what action we will put? I would say run chat. So this is it. We will create a request. We will do a post. We will put our whole URL. And we'll put this. And then we will add we will do a chat, so we will add this link. Now we should put the header too. It should be JSON, content type JSON. And then we need to put the question. This is our body, and then we import. So everything is good. It didn't validate. It says the operation ID has space. So everything is good now. We will add another one. Let's test this one first. They say to test, you need to create the connector. Let's create it. Now let's test it. The question, we will give any question. I will ask the same question that I've been asking before. We'll ask this question: language, English, top 4. This content type, we will put sermons. Need to create a new connection first. It's connected. It shows connected here. But it made me lose my page. So I will start over again. So we had this top 4, language English. Test operation. It failed. It says the remote name could not be resolved. It says that the remote name could not be resolved. So if I go back here, they say you will receive something like this. Anonymous tunnel access means you can use this. Alright, I think I was missing something. I was missing this .ms. I should have taken everything. So I will update again. Here is already there. And then let's test it again. It works. It works. It's so interesting how it was given an answer over there. We had an answer over the chat, this same question. So let me ask it here on the chat. It has an answer, but online it doesn't. So let's go back to VS Code. I will ask the same question. What did the latest sermon say about faith? when you ask it here, it has an answer. Just to make sure that we are following. I hope I was sharing the screen since. So what I was doing, I created in Power Apps a custom connector, and I have put the dev tunnel, the public one, and no security for now. We are going to create the API can reinforce it, and I was running this endpoint for the FastAPI API, and yes. So I had tested it with this, and it tells me please speak to a pastor. Just for context, please speak to a pastor is what we get when on the settings. We have put it on the settings. Let's go on the settings further. That's what we have put on these settings at the end. You have said please speak to a pastor, fallback answer. But here, when I ask the same question, what did the latest sermon say about faith? When I ask it locally and I do this curl, it tells me according to the sermons provided, faith is described as a decision. So it has an answer. I wonder why with the tunnel it's not giving me the answer. That is strange. So what I will do, I will go back over there. I have put, let me try to put top 4 because over there I have put top 4. Maybe it has influenced the answer. Let me put top 4. In Chrome, I've seen a tested with top 4. Sermons, it has says, please ask pastor. Very, very strange. Now let's go back to VS Code. And I believe it's supposed to press here. Yeah. So it has sources. I wonder why with the dev tunnel it doesn't give the response. You guys tell me what's your experience so far with all of this. So now let's go back to Chrome. Let's go back to this document. So we have done this. We have created the public dev tunnel and we have tested it. And each time if we close the dev tunnel and we open it again, it will create a new URL. So it says we should run this command to get the FastAPI key. Let's run this command and then we should place the generated value on the end file. Let's go back to VS Code and do that. Clear this. So we have a value. So we should change this and put this value. And then let's go back to Chrome. Once we do that, we have the new value. We now need to give the API key here. So let's go back to security, edit, API key, parameter label, parameter name, I'll show it. Header. They say we put it on the header. Let me save it first and test it. Ask the same question. Top 3. Interesting. If I want to add a new connection, let's see. It says connect without an issue. That means with this public one, we don't even need an API key because it's still working without it. That is very interesting. So we have done that. Let's try to create a private tunnel. So we stop this tunnel, the public one. We already seen that it works. Oh, let's try to create another operation. Let's create prayer suggestion. Input the endpoint. Just take this one. This one should be post as well. And content type is application JSON as well. And let's give so everything is validated. Let's save it and let's call it. So let's take that operation. So the topic we will say anxiety, language. Let's do French. Top 3. Let's test it. It says the operation is being provisioned. Please try in a few minutes. So we are too quick apparently. So while we do that, let's go to Copilot Studio. We will create an agent to test this API and make sure that it works, at least for the chat. Let's create a new agent. We will call it Ministry FastAPI integration. So what we will do, we will add tools where we go to connectors. Let me just type it. The name of that is FastAPI Ministry. FastAPI Ministry is right here. So we will take run chat, we will add it. We will take both of them, prayer suggestion, and we'll add it to. Say it will run with my credential. Be honest, we don't even need that because it was not using any API key. I would say I will ask the same. I will ask another question actually. Let me grab some questions. I would say to test it, what is the name? I would say always use the tools to answer the questions. So here we are using Copilot Studio and we are integrating with an external API. So it's running the chat. Let's see how it works. Let me see the thoughts. So he has put the question in the body. I think I should add this structure. The first one says the tool called timed out. Oh yes, Copilot Studio expect the answer to come really quick. 10 seconds, nothing came back, and then it gave up. I think the running chat needs a little bit of time. Actually, it worked. It said the current sermon series is called Unshakable, Building a Faith That Holds. The Morrison message in the series is the foundation of faith was delivered by Pastor Emmanuel Osei on Sunday, July 20th, and it gave the sources, announcement week. Okay. Guy, it works! Let's ask another question. Let's ask another question, guys. One moment, let me find it. I would say how many points had the sermon? How many points does this sermon contain? It will call one chat again. So the way Copilot Studio, the orchestrator does, it says how many points does the sermon, the foundation of faith, contain in the Unshakable series at PH Ministry. That is so cool. So we have built a local RAG app using our own document that are indexed using a vectorized database that is ChromaDB. And then we have created a FastAPI service, so all the calls are routed through the FastAPI, and we have exposed it to the internet using Microsoft DevTunnel, and we have created a Power Platform custom connector, and then we call that connector here inside Copilot Studio. So now it has called it, and we can ask questions. We have chunk ID, everything, and then it says the response it received is incomplete. It only mentioned 1 point. There are likely more. Let me check the actual sermon file to get all the points. So it's running list all the main points, top 10. That is very cool. That is very cool. I see that sometimes it has a timeout issue. It expects to have the answer in 30 seconds or less. So when it takes more, it gives error. Like this latency was 23 seconds. When it goes to 30 seconds, it says timeout. The integration works. Let's go back here and see if you can already test this pre-association. It works too. So we are going to test it as well. That's fantastic. Yeah, for some reason our local large language model takes a little bit of time. So let's just test a suggestion. Suggestion Bible verses for anxiety. So it has called and got the answer. This is powerful. And it gives the responses. It works like magic. Thank you. But we are going to delete the dev tunnel. Let's go to Microsoft and search for delete. Tunnel delete all. We are going to delete everything for now. So let's go back to VS Code and let's run it. I will first remove it. I will list. I will say no. I will say dev tunnel list. We find, yeah, it's list. It will list all the tunnels that I have right now. It tells me that I have 3 dev tunnel. Really? I didn't know that. I will delete all of them because I don't need them. I will keep recreating them all the time because, yeah, I deleted all of them. Because if somebody has those, I'm in trouble. Thank you guys and see you in the next video. Ciao.